Welcome back to Entrepreneur. You're with me, Ben Ibrahim. And if you're just joining us for the very first time, we're talking to Dato Praba Thiagarajah, CEO of the Basis Bay Group, an IT outsourcing company which started in Malaysia in 1996. Dato, that wasn't that long ago, but tell us about that period. Now, IT was so big back then. Was it very hard to stick to your core product because you could have so easily diversified?
No. I think diversifying in the early portion of our business never came to mind. But early in the game, you're still building a product. So I think for many entrepreneurs, they won't get to, unless they're thinking really big from day one. Yeah? And if you're in the technology space, you need to get good at what you're doing, and then you move on to do other things if you like, or fairly good. But we did take one or two steps strategically, because we were providing IT services, and the software was just, applications was going all over the place. And in the whole country, MSE status, you must get IP, and let's build applications. So I jumped on the bandwagon as well and said, let's go. So I built a division that's built, wrote, and we eventually sold. We built an ERP. Yeah? To be honest, there was a lot of funds that went into it, but like everything else, you've got to recognize your market and who the players are. And in retrospect, if we were to do things differently, I would probably not have done that move. It would have been easier to partner someone who's really good at an ERP, engage in some angles, which we did, and today we do that.
So Dato, tell us about your modus operandi of trying to attract new clients and retain new clients. Like once you've established the product, how do you get the client? How do you develop the client?
Customers have always been paramount to any business person. That's the most important thing. You can have the best products. If it doesn't reach them, it means nothing. You get into a customer, you try to find out their pain points and extend that bit. You'd want to get into what pains the customers most, and then figure out ways to support them. Because the way we've been building our customers is to get closer to key customers and ensure we can start a customer off as a non-key, if you like. When you say key, perhaps we're alluding to a profit margin, but all customers, as you might imagine, for entrepreneurs should be important, but they build up, right? Because some give you more. There's an 80-20 rule. You may get 30% or 20% of your profit margins or your business from, from 80% of your clients, which you probably focus but not so much. And then you might get 80% of your business from 20% of your clients. And those are the people you're going to focus on, and you're going to build better relationships with them.
In your line of work, Dato, in technology services, what would you say is the biggest challenge?
The biggest challenge is it is a dynamic space. It's a global industry. What was cool 3 years ago. I mean, look at the industry. You've got Facebook, Twitter, you've got Google today. Look at all the stuff that have gone on for a while. This industry is moving at a phenomenal space. And what's nice about it, I would say, is that people have the opportunity to take part in these changes. But what's really challenging is that one needs to keep abreast, very, very, very foresightful, and keep in line, because you could quite easily get lost with wanting to be like everybody else, and focus on, again, what your customers need and where they are going and where would you like to take, and if there's a blue ocean somewhere, what is it for you and what's the strategy? So you've got to plan this, and it's not something you can do, and you've got to keep focused.
He put expectation from the beginning. The way it depends how you looking at it. Either it's high expectation or low expectation. But expectation is always there. He put the bar at the level that he think it is achievable. But he needs to give a bit of push. It's not that a comfortable target. So that is how people move. You push a bit more, then you get a bit more from people. That's how I think.
You said it's very easy to get excited when you first start a business, and that's a challenge. How did you manage to overcome that challenge during that time? When
we grew, we needed to have what you call your bread and butter business, things that will keep your company and your cash flow alive. And as every entrepreneur knows, and every aspiring entrepreneur will find out, cash flow is a given must. So very early in the game, I guess I learned that lesson, that you need to manage your cash and essentially your growth that involves your cash, so you can make sure all your obligations are met. So I think I had always been very fixed to making sure that the clients that gave us an X amount of opportunity and stuff which we were trying on is something that was surplus and was strategic, if you like. So if you have surplus cash, and when we do have surplus budgets, we venture into new businesses to see how we do in that space and expand again, ensuring that it's not totally alien to what we already do.
Now, in your entrepreneurial career, you managed to partner up with Cisco, who's probably one of the biggest players in the industry. Just recapping the years, what does a company like Cisco look for in a player like yourself in terms of a partnership? We are
the distributor for pre-owned Cisco equipment as well. So it's recycled equipment, and that's very green. Mm-hmm. So that was nice, and it was exclusive, if you like. So while we always keep our distance, that we always want to give the customers what they need rather than what the proprietary vendors or partners might want to push towards them. And that's been really something that's worked for Basis Bay as well. Yeah? So Cisco is a bit of a different situation because they always had and have a very strong green policy. Now, how much they thump it, how they're doing it, in which geographies, what they do is largely their strategy. But as an organization, we appreciate multinationals who are or who have green practices in place.
Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm truly inspired. But when I'm truly inspired, we just got to go for a very, very short commercial break. But stick with us here, right here on Entrepreneur, because when we come back, we're going to ask Dato about his approach to green technology. Stick with us right here on Entrepreneur.